half to 2 year period of time by working with the community in small groups and large groups to actually understand how the different pieces of the community we can start to redevelop, whether it's with housing, commercial development, or food production, or whatever it is that the community wants to help this vision. So we don't want anybody to leave. We're not here to take anybody's houses or any of it. That's not the goal.
Thanks, Gary. Other comments or questions to get us going? Sure.
I don't need a mic.
All right.
I just got some concerns. I'm a property owner on Frederick between Moraine and Mount Elliott. And I just have some concerns that although we're getting into the greenery right now, which I'm all for, people planting gardens so others can come and get vegetables and things of that nature, money-saving tactics. But my problem is that when I pay for my lots, and people from out of wherever they came from coming in, taking over these lots, not asking the block, because see, my area right now is looking like a farm, okay, which is to me going to devalue my property. So I would like to know what is the discussion on that. And when I approach the people that are planting these gardens, they say, we're in the process of buying these lots. And then when I go downtown, they haven't even gotten the lot. It's a done deal. You walk in here, you purchase the lot if it's available, and it's yours. Not we're in a process and not even discussing with people who have been in the area for 35, 40 years, like me, growing up on that street. So my thing is, what is downtown going to do about that, and how it's going to help us when it gets time to come in the area to buy our houses, if they're going to do that?
Okay, well, I can answer part of that, and part of it I can't. We're not the city, so the people that might be moving in on vacant lots in the neighborhood, whether they're in the process of buying them or not buying them, or they're squatting, I don't have an answer for that. What I can tell you is that the property that we are talking about, that we've been looking at, that we've been talking about with the community and with the city, there is going to be an ongoing public process for that land, as it transitions, whether it's through a lease or a purchase or a land trust. And so the community is going to have every opportunity prescribed by law and then some to weigh in on what they want to see happen. It's not our intention to go onto a street and just bulldoze over the neighborhood. I don't mean that physically bulldoze it, but just say, hey, we're going to do this whether you like it or not. That's not our goal.
Well, that's what's happening.
And it's never been our goal.
That is what's happening.
If it is happening in small, in small ways throughout the neighborhood, I really can't address that because I don't have any knowledge of that.
Okay.
So.
While you're standing up there, I think that's kind of the things you're trying to get. It isn't RecoveryPark that are the people doing this. This is someone else outside, correct?
That's correct. We haven't put one shovel in the ground.
This is all land you're trying to obtain of the city property in that area under whether it's purchase, lease, contract.
That's correct.
Well, what property what lots do y'all own around here? Because it's 2 lots I cut on campus. If y'all own them, I need y'all to come cut them.
We don't own any lots.
You don't own
We don't have legal access to any property or buildings in the footprint. We are still in the process of talking to the community and talking with the city to see what it is that we can realistically make happen with the assets and the resources that we have available, both community residents and our partners in the business world, the nonprofit world, and government partners.
My name is Dave. I'm from the Office of Council President Charles Pugh. And I just wanted to address your issue. There are city programs that there's an adjacent property where you can purchase any property that's adjacent to your property for a nominal fee, and there's also a free Adopt a Lot program. So those are ways, and if you want, there's these cards on the table. You can give us our office a call, and we'll help facilitate those programs if you call our office with an address.
Well, I just have a problem with my property looking like a farm right now. I didn't want that for my property. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's a lot right next to these people's house that they could have used next door to them, but they wanted to go around the corner. So,
right.
But I'll take it up with the mayor's office, I'm sure.
Okay, but if there is a property next to your property that you want to take control of, then there are programs where you can do that.
Other comments? Yeah.
Do you have a list of the properties and vacant lots that you are looking at purchasing? And if so, can we have a copy of it?
Well, there is a listing, but it's also the physical boundary that we're showing on the map as well. So
I
you
mean,
can,
specific
there
property
will be a
lots.
population list.
So the maps that we have in the population lists are available for free from the city of Detroit. The maps that we have and the ownership lists that we have are free from the city of Detroit. All you have to do is go down to City Hall, that's how we got them.
No, I'm asking you, do you have a list of the properties and lots that you are looking at purchasing?
We're looking at all the property that's from Werner to 94, St. Augustine to Mount Elliott. We haven't excluded any properties, we haven't finalized on any properties.
So do you have a list of those properties from Mount Elliott to Vernon, whatever? that we're looking at
And let me
purchasing?
repeat myself, the list that we have is available for free from the city of Detroit. You just go down to City Hall and you ask them to like a listing of the properties that they own. That's actually in the Cadillac building at 65 Cadillac Square, and they'll give you one. That's how we got ours.
How is the price going to be determined? Is it going to be a comp price for the purchase of individual parcels? Will it be a block sale depending on what you're able to obtain? How is that going to be determined?
It's actually going to be determined by the type of project that's going to go on any particular given lot, and if it makes sense to lease it, if it makes sense to put it in a land trust for the benefit of the community, if it makes sense to do long-term leases on the property. It's not RecoveryPark's goal to long-term own any property in the neighborhood. It's our goal to use the different projects to create jobs in the neighborhood and to act as an economic stimulus to bring housing back and commercial development back. And by doing that, at the end of, let's say, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, however long it takes, that the community and the private business owners and the different entities in the community will actually own everything the way that they do now.
I got one other quick question. So ideally, are you going to target housing first or small businesses first, or whoever shows most interest in money first?
What we're going to target first is stabilizing the neighborhood. So for the first year and a half, the resources that we have available are basically going to demolish and deconstruct buildings, to take the buildings that are repurposable and securing them so that they're no longer vandalized, to start mowing the vacant lots that we have access to so that the weeds aren't continuing to grow, and then to start looking at business models that might fit in each of those areas. It's our belief, we could be wrong, that building housing with no assets to attract people back into the community is probably the wrong approach. That we've looked at other areas of the city, and we've also looked at other cities that have tried building housing projects without the other assets in place first. And we thought that we would try a different approach, and that's to stabilize the neighborhood by cleaning it up, bringing security into the neighborhood, and then by actually starting some for-profit business model that brings some businesses back into the community and giving people jobs. If you look at most development of neighborhoods, when people are working in the neighborhood, that's when the builders want to come in, and that's when the stores want to come in, because there's people in the neighborhood that actually support those services. So that's the goal.
You know, unless things have changed, I've been down to the auction. Otherwise, when there's vacant lots, there's ones right next to you, they give you the first shot at it. But also, when Wayne County has their auctions and stuff, all of this property is bidded on.
It's bid before we even know.
No, well, you get a chance to bid on it, but just, I'm trying to think where was the last place I went. Anyway, all these lots, they'll tell you lot number so and so, and then you bid on it. Some of them lots are going for $50, some of them going for $100, but you bid it on it.
That's correct. And not actually once, but if people do not bid on the property the first go-round, it's put back into a pool and it's brought back up within 30 days. During that bidding process, private developers or residents, I mean, people just can't go and purchase the property out from under that bidding process. It's not until after that second bidding process that the land actually starts to go through the process to get into city hands.
How far along are y'all with the plans that you just was talking about, like cleaning up the city,